All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so it's been a couple of weeks since we last talked about your Utah Jazz. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is some roster moves that have really been interesting since we last met, and one that stands out to me is definitely, our first round draft pick, Williams, actually being sent down to the Stars.
Yeah. Cody Williams assigned to the Stars. I mean, the big thing was is they gave him opportunities to show if he could be productive in the NBA scene, right? He had quite a bit of playing time in the first part of the season. And now they're just going to give him a little more opportunity to kind of catch up to the speed of the game, gain some confidence, keep growing as a young player. We got to remember that we've had so much success with players going down to the G League and then coming up much better than they went down in, right? Rudy Gobert was a big one. I mean, when we got Rudy Gobert, he was a 7 foot tall, really skinny French guy that was not super effective. I mean, yeah, he could block some shots, but he came out of the G League a completely different player that was winning NBA Defensive Player of the Year awards. He was understanding that he could be effective setting screens and rolling to the basket and creating gravity. He learned all of that stuff in the G League in that really important role that he was there for. So yeah, I mean, Rudy's one guy. I mean, also Taylor Hendricks is a little bit more recent, but he went down there, spent some time in the G League, and at the end of last year, Taylor Hendricks looked like an NBA ready player
Yeah, started the last 15 games of the season.
and looked good. You know what I mean? He was much ready. He was more ready to catch the ball and shoot it when he got it. His defensive effort was much better. He obviously has elite size. Not something you can teach, but it's something that you can understand how to utilize better on an NBA floor. And that was what he needed to do. And I think he picked up all that stuff in the G League. So Cody needs to just use this time to gain some confidence, soak up the knowledge that these guys can really give him. I mean, he's going to be an NBA talent. The dude's an absolute freak. But in his couple of stars appearance so far, he has kind of struggled. He's struggled to shoot the ball from the field, and I mean, he's even driven to the basket and have a couple of his shots blocked. So he's kind of struggling, but he does. I mean, on the bright side, he does look comfortable with the ball in his hands. He does a great job of running the break in transition. He does make great decisions. For the most part, he has played really well, but his decisions in half court is kind of where he struggled. He needs to be a little quicker with that kind of stuff. But it's an awesome opportunity for Williams to really keep growing as a player.
Yeah, in 16 games of the NBA season so far, including 7 straight starts, he has averaged just 3.1 points per game, and most importantly, 27% shooting. In the 2 games with the Stars, though, it hasn't really seen much more improvement. Yes, he is scoring 17 and a half points through those 2 games, but his shooting percentage is at 28 points. So
Yeah.
28% shooting percentage, and only shooting 9% from three, which is very worrisome.
9%.
Yeah, very worrisome. Now, it's not necessarily that Cody Williams, I don't necessarily think it's his issue here when it comes to this. Like you mentioned, he's got to put on some weight. He's got to work on getting a little bit more NBA speed ready and stuff like that. And that's all going to work itself out down there. However, there is a narrative there where you wanted your top 10 lottery pick to really perform, at the NBA level. And what's this saying about Danny Ainge? When they all say, oh, Danny Ainge and what he did in Boston, those picks that he had turned into Tatum, Brown, and Smart, right?
Right.
We're year 3 into this build. And out of our our number 1 draft pick out of those players, right? Keontae was what? No, it wasn't even Keontae. Taylor Hendricks was picked.
Taylor Hendricks was the first, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's out for a knee injury. So that guy we got to take off the table right now. But out of the other 5, our top pick can't even make it on a team that's not trying to win, right? So that tells a lot on maybe potentially that this team is not where it needs to be at when it comes to evaluating talent. When we have 6 players, and the most interesting one stated by Andy Larson of The Athletic. I'm sorry, of KSL. I can't remember which where you're. Sorry, Andy Larson, wherever you're from there. But it's stated
I think it's KSL.
Yeah, Andy Larson stated on the drive there that out of these 6 year 1, year 2 players the Utah Jazz have on this team, the most exciting one is
Cody Williams.
No.
Oh, no?
It's not Cody Williams.
Keontae George.
No. Keep going.
Bryce Sensabaugh.
No, keep going.
Oh, Kyle Filipowski.
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
Kyle Filipowski is the most
Yeah.
interesting and most
And now I've
watchable
named
player.
every one of our first and second year
Yeah.
players.
The fact that he is the one that is getting, the fact that he's the one that is getting, most of the, what's the word I'm looking
Minutes.
for? Most of the minutes and getting
Yeah.
most of the praise from the coaching staff on how well he's performing.
Yeah.
It's not a good sign, man. It's not a good sign. We're year 3 into this rebuild, and I don't see anybody on this team with the exception of, you got Walker Kessler. Sorry, not Kessler. You've got
Larry Markkinen?
thank you, Larry Markkinen. Gosh, just fall out of my
Missed it
head.
by that much.
Yeah. See, I just made you feel better there, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Just
I
made you feel better.
appreciate that.
Outside of Larry Markkinen, there is not a single player on this team that shouts out that this player will be on this team as a contender.
Right.
Not a single one.
Right.
And that is very dangerous year 3 into a rebuild. I think internally the Jazz are thinking that this year is year 1 in the rebuild, when in reality it's year 3. And I think that's a cause for concern on this team. And that to me is what the real indictment of Cody Williams going down to the G League right now is basically what I'm trying to get at, is that we have a player who didn't even get drafted in the first round balling out in the NBA and performing better than our top 10 pick.
Yeah, but it wasn't just the Jazz that picked him in the second round. You got to realize every other NBA team passed on him as well for him to make it into the second round.
What I'm meaning is this player that was passed on and got all the way down to the second round is outperforming our top 10 pick.
Top 10 pick.
Yeah, so that's just a concern there.
Yeah.
I just think we need to stack these things as evidence to the catalog on Danny Ainge and how we're progressing on this rebuild.
Right.
Is where I'd like to put that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing to be optimistic about with Cody Williams is he does have the right mindset about him as he's down there, though. I mean, his comments on his G League goals were, and I quote, just energy and motor, my intensity, being able to get more minutes and play in longer spurts, then using my guard skills, being able to get more into more actions, play on the ball, bring up the ball, get ball screens, etc. Just being able to point guard out here is kind of my biggest focus. So it's good to know that his head's in the right place. You know what I mean? That is exactly what we need from him as a player. I think the franchise. Yeah, I mean, did they miss on Cody Williams? I don't think so. I think he was the best available pick at 10.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like you can argue, well, don't even say Dalton Connect, because the fact is that the dude's 27 and a half years old.
Yeah, he's not on the timeline. Like he'll have 4
exactly.
good years in the NBA. He'll be rookie of the year. He'll have 4 good years in the NBA. And then
is he more NBA ready now? Yes, of course he is. He's also playing with one of the greatest players of all time on a very talented roster.
I wasn't going Dalton Connect, by the way.
Oh, you weren't?
No, I was going Reed Shepherd.
Oh, Reed Shepherd's having a good year too.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying, though? It's along the same thing as far as you have experienced college players that are just much different than Cody Williams, who played 1 year of college basketball and is in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he's a 6'10", tall, lanky shooting ball player that handles the ball, and he's got a lot of things to work on, but he has raw talent, which is exactly what the Jazz were looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to hear from you folks.
We got some listening.
Nice. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about the Utah Jazz and this sending of Cody Williams down to the G League. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to jump in the comments here in regards to that. We got something from Greg Hawkins. It says we should go all in finding European recruits who actually want to be here. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that here in a minute, because I got a little bit about that. We're definitely going to talk about that as far as people who are wanting to be here. Greg Hawkins said, was that
the Utah Jazz?
Utah Jazz. I like it. And then we also have Greg laughing at that. So perfect. A little bit of back and forth in the comments there, man. I think that's only happened once before.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
A little internal discussion within the comments, guys. Keep it going. Keep it going. We love to see it. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's very interesting to see this. I think there's going to be more to come. He will be back up with this team. The thing that just bothers me, though, is the fact that he went down there on a team that's trying to lose in the first place. You know, if you want the guy to develop, why not have him develop up in the NBA against NBA talent? You know, is it just a confidence thing? What's going on there? You know, so we'll see.
I can tell you my reason, but it's in the next segment we're going to do.
I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and switch on over to the next subject that we're going to be talking about, which is, believe it or not, there's a lot of trade rumors around the Utah Jazz.
Absolutely. So, welcome back to the Utah Jazz midseason roster mashup.
Nice.
Our key players in talks this year include Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton, and John Collins. All of these guys have been in like the brightest spot in this rough ass season that we're watching for the Jazz so far. So we can obviously only expect it to get worse from here. What have you heard about some of the guys? Where these guys might end up, and are there any other players that might be moved here?
Yeah, so it's originally reported by Mark Stein on his Substack there that the league is widely presumed that by the league that it's widely presumed by the league that the Utah Jazz are trying to move Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton, and John Collins. And with Walker Kessler always already having a bounce back great season this year,
Yeah,
which is not surprising to see his name included in trade rumors so far as well. So let's go ahead and start with him, and I'll get to why I want to start with him in a minute. So we have an update there. Sam Amick of The Athletic stated that the Lakers are still interested in Kessler. Jazz source said earlier that the asking price was D'Angelo Russell and multiple first-round picks. I don't see the Lakers doing that. However, the very next day, it was reported that the Jazz have pivoted their interest to Jalen Hood Shinifo.
Oh, I'm
Jalen
not
Hood
sure.
Shinifo. He's going to be playing on a 10-day. He's with the G League right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Jazz have interest in him. So that might have been where that continual conversation with Walker Kessler is going to be. I don't think the Lakers want to give up 2 first-round picks and D'Angelo Russell for Walker Kessler, but I
Nope.
definitely don't think that the Utah Jazz want to give away, or Danny Ainge wants to give up, a great center or anything less than that. It's like you said, you either get to be good now or good later. You don't get to do both when you
Exactly.
trade with Danny Ainge. So to your probably one of the best quotes that we have on the show, really coming from you on that one right there. So that's fantastic. But yeah, so that's going to be the one here. The only other trade I found on here was JC and Mills to the Bucks for Brooke Lopez and a 2031 second round pick. That's
a no.
That's what I want to talk about. Is that of all these,
There
is like 15, 16 articles that I've read, and they're all saying the exact same thing. But none of them are mentioning any actual trades, except that are made by the people who are producing that article in that content. So Mark Feinstein has this report from the GMs across the league saying it's reportedly assumed that the Utah Jazz are looking to trade away these players.
Yeah.
Without anybody actually saying what trades are possibly going to be rumored to go down. Every publication is just making up a trade that they think is going to work. So to me, that's the most fascinating part. Is normally with trade rumors, there's an actual trade involved.
There's actual players involved in the trade rumors.
Yeah, well, there's just an actual trade rumor involved.
Yeah.
This one I talked about, JC and Patty Mills to the Bucks for Brooke Lopez and a 2031 second round pick.
Yeah,
that was made from J Slided. Like that was also a production level, trade. It wasn't actually an actual trade, which drives me nuts. By the way, Colin Sexton is averaging 17 points. 3.1 assists, 3.1 assists, and 2.5 rebounds in 28 minutes per game. And JC, 32-year-old, is putting up 15 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3 assists in 26 minutes per game. So those stats are important. I think those all could help with a contending team for sure.
So that's actually what I wanted to say about the reason that Cody Williams is down in the G League is because all of those players are averaging stat lines that the Utah Jazz need to move them. And they can absolutely not afford to take minutes from them and show that and skew the numbers with minutes.
Bridge subject. So if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, what we talked about earlier will be on our sister channel, Utah Jazz DNA, or we also link that original video here somewhere as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the Cody Williams move down is an opportunity to give John Collins, Colin Sexton, and Jordan Clarkson an opportunity to keep playing and keep producing at the levels that they're currently producing at, to make sure that obviously that if they need to move these guys or if they have an opportunity to move these guys, their stats back up whatever they're asking for.
Nice. Let's go ahead and jump into a few of the comments here before we get back to it there. One is we got Pacific Northwest Ute, Walker, Kessler, Texas, Laker. I love it, man. I love it. That's great. Oh, we also have McKinley Cutler. Thank you for joining the channel. Again, it's good to see you again. Friend of the channel. That's right. Friend of the channel. I would like to see Walker. Let's see here. I feel like the Walker Kessler trade rumors are more like the Larry trade rumors when if you want to blow up the Jazz, you want to blow the Jazz away with an offer,
they're willing to trade him.
Sorry, I'm trying to We gotta figure something out there, man.
I
These
know.
comments are way too far away.
They're so far away.
Yeah, that would
I'll
make
read this one.
sense.
I'll read this one. The Jalen Chafino was the Lakers draft pick in the Keontae draft. Okay, so he's from a year and a half ago.
Yes, yes.
Maybe the Jazz can get the ham sandwich back that they traded John Collins for. Doubt it.
Yeah,
Doubt it. I'm pretty sure that one is dead and gone.
that was on rye bread, right? Yeah.
It was on rye. Yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, it did add some value because of the
spicy
bread.
mustard. Yeah,
Spicy mustard obviously always helps any delicious ham sandwich.
yeah. Did you have anywhere else you want to go with those trades?
No.
think
I mean,
cut you
I
off
just
there to do the
I think the
comments.
big thing is these players are definitely on the block, right? They're going to look at all options to move these players. As much as I love Jordan Clarkson and I appreciate everything he's done for the Utah Jazz, if there's an opportunity to move him and get some value for him, see a Jordan.
Yeah,
I could see Colin Sexton being one piece that they have more difficulty moving because I think Will Hardy really likes Colin Sexton, and I think he matches very well with the game that Laurie Markkinen plays as far as his
his
ability to drive.
timelines. He's gonna still be in his prime.
Exactly. He fits a timeline where John Collins does not fit it as well because he is a couple years older.
That $26 million anchor, man, that makes it a hard contract to trade.
Yeah, but someone's with Collins' current productions at 17.8 a game, it's one of his best statistical years so far. So you're going to look at that and say, if you need somebody that can generate some shots from outside the three, that can get some rebounds, because I mean, he's rebounding 8.7 a game.
Nah,
So I mean, he's
when did
producing
that
right
start
now.
happening? Like,
He
he knows he's
going
in a
to help.
contract year.
Exactly, and he knows he's going to help somebody. So
Yeah, and like we always say on this channel, what we always like to say on this channel, there's no such thing as a bad 1 year deal.
no,
Yeah, so
that is
we'll see.
correct.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think in regards to the trade rumors or the lack of trade rumors. Before we get into that, there is one more thing I'd like to state. Did you see the article that came out a couple days ago?
Which one?
The Brandon Ingram article.
I don't know if I saw that one.
So it was noted by the Athletic that the Utah Jazz and New Orleans Pelicans were deep into trade talks to bring Brandon Ingram to the Utah Jazz. However, Brandon Ingram blocked the trade as he was not willing to sign an extension with the Utah Jazz, which was a stipulation of the deal.
I did not see this.
Yeah, what's going to happen, man? Like this, it's bad enough we couldn't keep Gordon Hayward here. You know, a white kid who likes to stay at home and play video games all day to stay here in Utah, a family man. We can't get him to stay here in Utah. But now we have somebody like Brandon Ingram who's looking for a big payday, saying no to one of the only teams who can offer him a big payday and be willing to offer him a big payday. Still tells us no. Like, seriously, man. Like, that's just a shot to the gut, man.
And it's funny because I wouldn't think that living in New Orleans would be that big of a step up from Salt Lake City. I've never been to New Orleans.
I have. It's a hole. You don't want to be there.
But I've heard that it's a hole.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's got to be something there, obviously. But
the French Quarter's nice, you know.
But I still feel like you could live in Salt Lake City much more respectable than you could in New Orleans.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just the city after dark nightlife or whatever it is. But yeah, the fact that
he's not convinced that's changing every single NBA player's mind.
Yeah, you got to really we got to dive into it. There's got to be more to it than that. I have a theory, but it's definitely not YouTube friendly. So I'll get into that later. But yeah, Brandon Ingram blocking the trade, man. This is a guy that you wanted. This was a trade last year. We talked about a possible trade that you wanted to do. I think was a good fit. The more I thought about it, but yeah, he doesn't want to come here. And there's not many teams that have the capital to offer him a contract that he would fit in well.
But also, he's not good enough.
Yeah,
for anybody to offer him that kind of money.
No. But he would fit well here. The Jazz would probably offer him more money than anybody else because he would be a good fit in the system. No, I don't want to play in Utah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have some other comments here. We have it. Let's go back up to, I believe it is the sandwich one. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. We have New Orleans has an actual nightlife. Yeah. Yeah. I was there for about a week in New Orleans. And believe it or not, it was a Thursday night. Everything was closed except for the Hard Rock Cafe at 10 p.m. Like, what nightlife are we talking about here? Like, it was pretty much bare bones there.
But also, as an NBA player, during the season, your nightlife doesn't matter anyway. I mean, are these guys really hitting the bar like after a game?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I mean, I guess
the bars and another place that I don't want to mention online because I don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah.
But that's some places
that they don't have in Utah.
places they do have in Utah, but they just have more strict rules on those places
Right.
here in Utah. Outside the state, they're a little bit looser, and they are more popular amongst NBA players. That's my guess there. Salt Lake is super boring by comparison to people who prefer the urban life. Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know, man. Like, you got the Bayou, you've got a couple of great restaurants downtown. You've got all the nightlife that we have when it comes to well,
Yeah, I mean, they're working on it, but it's not.
it's not. Yeah, it's more family friendly than it is rough and rowdy.
Yeah.
Like they're not having any. Like like there's no like shut down
It's
the
a lot
street.
harder to get into trouble in Salt Lake City. Let's say that.
Yeah, there's definitely not like Memphis. I was out in Memphis there, and they shut down 2 streets and just basically let people walk around and go from bar to bar.
That's super cool, actually.
In Austin, they like literally just let you get a drink at a bar through their window and then walk down the street, to another bar, to a nightclub. It's kind of interesting. Utah's never going to allow stuff like that, but I don't know, man. I think there's enough here to keep some people interested. But seriously, it is kind of tricky how it works here. We also have Pacific Northwest Ute saying, "Thank you, Brandon Ingram, for
For
saying
saying
no."
no.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We probably dodged a bullet there.
Mhm.
I've lived in some big cities. SLC is nice and charming, but it is not anywhere close to, big city. Yeah, I agree there, man. It's definitely
It's
not.
nice and charming, but it's not a big city.
Yeah, I agree. And we're working on that too. With the hockey team here now and the rebuilding of downtown and the new prison district and all that.
Yeah.
Um, see here. Of note, Greg Hawkins is informally known.
Internationally known.
Oh, Greg Hawkins is internationally known. Nice.
Greg Hawkins, are you international?
Probably. Mr. Worldwide, Greg Hawkins. That's his new nickname in the
I
channel.
like it.
Mr. Worldwide. Remember that. Greg Hawkins, Mr. Worldwide. All right. We also have McKinley Cutler saying here, don't know if Ingram doesn't like Utah, or if he wants to go to a winning team and not want.
That's a great point.
That is a very, very.
That is actually a very solid point, because they could be telling him, hey, we're in a 2 to 3 year rebuild cycle here. You're gonna have to come here and go through some losing for a couple of seasons. We'll be ready in 2 years. But we are going to sign you to a 5-year contract.
Yeah, if he wants to win more now than he wants to get paid, then yeah, that would make sense. And I would have respect for that.
Yeah,
I definitely would. So.
Yeah, because he's not. I mean, he's on the same timeline as Laurie, as far as he is 25, 26, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I have to Google that probably. Do you want to Google, or you want me to?
Gotcha.
He might be a little older, actually. Now that I think about it, Ingram might be 29, 30. And if that's the case, that would actually make perfect sense.
Yeah, he's 27.
Okay, so he's about the same age as Laurie then.
Yeah, he's close.
Yeah. Okay.
Zion Williams is still only 24 years old. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Dude. Wow.
He's
so much older.
I think I've played more NBA games than Zion Williams now.
Shots fired. Shots fired. We also have another comment here from Kelly Cutler. Recent articles that have come out that if he is traded to the biggest stipulation he needs is to go to a winning situation and the number he wants to get paid. Okay, that would make sense. Yeah, if the winning is the most important thing, which I can definitely have respect for, yeah, that makes sense. Although I'm telling you, man, if the Spurs offered him the same amount of money that we would, he would take it. He would take it.
Yeah,
because they're a little bit further ahead in the rebuild, and they're probably looking to compete starting next year.
They got Wamby.
Yeah, so we'll see.
They got Wamby.
Yeah. But Zion Williams shares his DoorDash with me.
Brandon Ingram on staying in New Orleans, allegedly. That right there is actually worth roughly $1 million a year.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest Ute, that's awesome. For sure. I like it. We'd love to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about all this. We did kind of go a little bit longer there with that Brandon Ingram stuff, so appreciate you guys bearing with us on that one. For those of you who don't know, whoa, what just happened there?
Whoa.
Someone put something up there that's not ready. We have...
That was me. Clearly, that background did not go clear, apparently.
It clearly did not.
Background transparent.
For those of you folks watching this on our main channel, we did just launch Utah Jazz DNA. It is a channel specifically dedicated to your Utah Jazz. All of our Utah Jazz content will be posted here first. So if you have not yet, check out that channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll be giving away one of those sweet new Road Black Mountain jerseys. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because once we hit 1,000 subscribers in this channel, we'll be giving one of those suckers away. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this, if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, a link to that will be in the description below. Be sure to check it out.
Make it happen.
That's right. Also, keep in mind, folks, we do have a merch store. If you want to check it out, check out some of our hats, beanies, t-shirts. We got some more stuff coming up here. There's a few things I'd like to still get up there for the Utes and for baseball. I think a Gibby Meat Freddy shirt would be pretty awesome. So
also, Whittingham's Mercenaries.
Whittingham's
that shirt is coming. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We should do that one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, let us know if you guys got any ideas for a Jazz shirt. We don't have any good ideas for a Jazz. Actually, I have that.
You have the one.
I have the one that's still not on the channel.
No, we're working on it.
Yeah.
Okay. We got lots of ideas. If you guys got any, leave us a comment. Let us know.
Yeah. I'm gonna get an image of that. I'm gonna throw it up here and see if our
absolutely.
We'll
we got some actual like longtime Jazz fans here. They should know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. We also have McKinley Cutler Jubby in here. Would you want to trade for Zion? Been seeing people ask that question in the Jazz media. Gosh.
No. My simple answer is no. I don't know if Zion Williamson brings enough value.
We need to hit a salary floor.
Well,
and we need to pay somebody, and it would really help us if that somebody was not playing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a great point. What did he say? What's his name? Personally,
says personally, I wouldn't want to trade.
Yeah, and then what did Greg say?
Zion is eating his way out of his contract.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zion Williamson is. I mean, yeah, he's going to eat up a bunch of salary floor. I would rather pay some of these guys that have earned contracts like Johnny Juzang, some of these guys that have been with the program.
We need to take losses, take L's. We don't need to pay Johnny Juzang, give him confidence, and have him ball out, and then we lose our bottom spot.
But that's what he's going to do, though. He's going to ball out, and someone's going to pay that man.
Yeah,
I mean, especially the rate he's shooting 3-pointers this year.
Definitely should. I just think there's something serendipitous about a guy named Zion living in Utah.
There is
Zion National Park down there.
Yeah, he's like, this is actually my home.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but this is where I live.
Great B-roll for Jazz games. Having him walking around the
Zion National Park.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
That would be.
Yeah, just saying.
Great point.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, he's useless.
Yeah, he is.
He's really bad.
It's one of those things, man. If he ever does get his, what together, I just think that if he was here at Utah, he's less invested than he is in New Orleans. Because he wants to be in a large market. He wants to be in New York, and the Knicks never traded for him.
I mean, the question is will Larry share his DoorDash account with him? I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm going to be honest with you. I doubt it.
I doubt it. I think you're right on that. I think you're on that. But yeah, so you want to pivot away from Utah Jazz?
Yeah, let's do it. We got some good stuff in MLB coming up. I'm so excited for this segment.
This will be fun. Yeah, once again, folks, did we cover everything? We covered everything.
Yeah, we got everything.
All right.